Peppa Pig, Peppa and Suzy's argument. Peppa and her best friend Suzy Sheep are playing Snap.
I win again,
says Suzy. Peppa isn't happy.
You cheated,
She shouts.
you looked at the card. I did not,
Cries Suzy.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Says Peppa.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Says Suzy. Peppa and Suzy have had an argument. They are not best friends anymore. Mummy Sheep arrives to take Suzy home. Peppa, say goodbye to Suzy, says Mummy Pig.
I'm not talking to her,
Says Peppa.
and I'm not talking to her.
Says Suzy. I'm sure they'll make up. They are best friends really, says Mummy Pig.
We are not best friends anymore,
Says Peppa. The next day is lovely and sunny. All the children are at the playground. Everyone is playing with their best friend. Everyone except Peppa and Suzy. Suzy is on the swing, on her own. She feels sad. Peppa is playing mini-golf on her own. She feels sad. Emily Elephant comes over.
Please, can I have a go?
Asks Emily.
Yes,
Says Peppa.
you can be my best friend. But my best friend is Candy Cat.
Says Emily. Suzy watches Zoe Zebra play on the slide.
Zoe, if you want, you can be my best friend.
Says Suzy.
But my best friend is Rebecca Rabbit.
Says Zoe. Zoe and Rebecca skip off together. Suzy is alone again. Then Peppa and Suzy see each other.
Hello, Suzy.
Says Peppa.
Hello, Peppa.
Says Suzy. I think it's time you two made up, says Daddy Pig.
Only if Suzy says sorry first. Only if Peppa says sorry first,
says Suzy. I'll count to 3, and you can both say sorry at the same time, suggests Daddy Pig. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry,
Say Peppa and Suzy together. Now you can be best friends again, says Daddy Pig.
Suzy, let's play mini-golf.
Says Peppa.
Good idea.
Says Suzy. Peppa goes first. Her ball stops near the hole. Suzy goes next. Her ball knocks Peppa's ball into the hole.
I win.
Says Peppa.
No, I win.
Says Suzy.
But my ball knocked it in, so I win.
Says Suzy. Peppa and Suzy are having an argument again. Oh no! Ho ho! You two are just the same, says Daddy Pig. Peppa and Suzy laugh too. They realise he is right.
That's why Suzy is my best friend in the whole world,
Says Peppa.
and Peppa is my best friend in the whole world.
Says Suzy. Everyone is happy that Peppa and Suzy are friends again. The end. Peppa Pig. Peppa gets a vaccination. Mummy Pig was taking Peppa to the doctor for her health check and vaccination. Are we all ready? Said Mummy Pig.
Yes, said Peppa. I've got Teddy.
And I've got your red book, added Mummy Pig.
What's that?
Asked Peppa. It's your very own book, said Mummy Pig. It helps doctors see how you're growing up.
Wow.
Hello, Peppa, said Dr. Brown Bear when they arrived. "Have you come for your health check and vaccination?"
"Yes," said Peppa. "I've brought my red book and Teddy too."
"Very good," said Dr. Brown Bear. "You're seeing Dr. Polar Bear today." Suddenly, a bell rang. "Ah, that means she's ready to see you," explained Dr. Brown Bear. Peppa and Mummy Pig walked into the doctor's office. "Hello," said Dr. Polar Bear cheerily.
"Who do we have here?" "I'm Peppa," said Peppa, "and this is Teddy." "Lovely," said Dr. Polar Bear. "Now, did you bring your red book?"
Peppa handed her book to Dr. Polar Bear.
"Excellent,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"Let's start by seeing how tall you are,"
said Dr. Polar Bear. She took Peppa over to the measuring stick. Peppa stood up very straight.
"Wonderfully done,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"I'm a big girl now,"
Peppa said proudly.
"Yes, you are,"
said Dr. Polar Bear. She got out her pen and wrote Peppa's height in the red book.
"Now, Peppa, can you hop on these for me, please?"
said Dr. Polar Bear, pointing to her weighing scales. Peppa stepped onto the scales.
"These scales tell us how heavy you are,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"Ooh,"
said Peppa.
"That's good,"
said Dr. Polar Bear, writing in Peppa's red book again.
"Now, it's time to use a stethoscope to listen to your heart,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"What is a stethoscope?"
asked Peppa.
"A stethoscope helps me hear your heartbeat and the air going in and out of your lungs,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"I put this bit on your chest and listen through the earpieces." "Peppa,"
said Dr. Polar Bear,
"would you like to listen to your heart beating?" "Yes, please,"
cried Peppa. Dr. Polar Bear put the stethoscope earpieces on Peppa's ears.
said Peppa. "It's going bumpy dump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump. Bumpy dump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump." "Now it's your turn, Teddy,"
said Peppa, putting the stethoscope's chest piece on Teddy's chest.
"Is Teddy's heart going bumpy bump, bumpy dump, bumpy dump?"
asked Dr. Polar Bear.
"No,"
said Peppa.
"Teddy's heart doesn't do that because Teddy is a toy."
"Oh, I see," said Dr. Polar Bear, smiling. Next, Dr. Polar Bear got out her special doctor's torch.
"Wow.
"I'm going to look in your ears now," she said. Dr. Polar Bear shone the torch into each of Peppa's ears.
said Peppa. "That tickles."
Dr. Polar Bear checked carefully inside Peppa's ears.
"That all looks lovely,"
she said.
"Now I'll check your mouth,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"I need you to open wide and say, ah."
Dr. Polar Bear opened her mouth and showed Peppa what to do.
"Like this." Ah.
Peppa opened her mouth as wide as it would go and stuck her tongue out.
Ah.
She yelled very loudly.
"Wonderful,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"Do you want to check my nose?"
asked Peppa.
"Thank you, Peppa,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"I can see that your nose is working very well."
Everyone laughed. Dr. Polar Bear put lots of ticks in Peppa's red book.
"Now, it's time for your vaccination,"
said Dr. Polar Bear.
"Do you know why we have vaccinations, Peppa?"
Peppa put her hand up.
"Yes, They stop us from getting ill, and that helps the people around us too.
That's right, said Dr. Polar Bear, impressed. Sometimes vaccinations are given as a little spray in your nose, and sometimes as a tiny pinprick in your arm. Peppa held Teddy as Dr. Polar Bear gave her the vaccination. It was very quick. Well done, Peppa, said Dr. Polar Bear. Would you like a sticker now?
Oh, yes, please,
squealed Peppa, jumping up.
I love stickers.
Me too, said Dr. Polar Bear, smiling. Are there any questions you want to ask me before you go, Mummy Pig? Said Dr. Polar Bear. No, thank you, Doctor, replied Mummy Pig.
I have a question,
cried Peppa.
Have you had your vaccination, Dr. Polar Bear?
Yes, Peppa, said Dr. Polar Bear.
Good. Then you can have a sticker too.
Peppa loves getting stickers from the doctor. Everyone loves getting stickers from the doctor. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.